Hi, welcome to Aunt Hetty's Creative Home. I'm Heather, and this week we've got a couple fun farmhouse crafts to do. Let's get started. Today I'm going to make a door hanger. I'm going to start with this lightweight wood round. I get these from Oriental Trading Company online. And I'm going to start by painting it with a coat of apple barrel paint. This is a cream color. Of course, you could paint any color you wanted. And this is going to be an upcycle project. So I'm just going to put a coat of paint on, but leave a little distress looking around the edges. And after I get that dry, I got this chicken from Dollar General a couple years ago, and it stood up on a stand, and it had broken, and I wanted to repurpose this chicken. So the basket and the eggs and everything was already on it, so this isn't going to be a hard one to upcycle. I just put a generous amount of E6000 glue on the back, and I'm just going to position it in the center. And after I get that in place, I decided I kind of wanted a ribbon or something up at the top. So here I made a little bow out of this ribbon. It's kind of got a rust color, a yellow, and then the teal color like the chicken. And I'm just kind of fluffing up the bow right now. I'm just going to put it at the top. I'm positioning it where I want to put it. And then I cut a little bit of a tail for the other side too, so they'd match. And I'm just going to glue these down. Just using a generous amount of hot glue. And I want to thank you for watching today. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you hit the notification bell, it'll even let you know when I upload new videos. I just appreciate all of you so much. So after I got the bow down, I decided I wanted a little gemstone or a button or something in the center. And I found this, I think it's a button, but it kind of looks like a gem too. And I put it in the center. Just kind of fluffing things back up. And then I needed a hanger, and I decided I wanted to just use some ribbon and tie it up at the top. I wanted it to be a little longer, so I'm going to cut 2 lengths of ribbon. And I'm going to do one side, I'll show you, and then the other side I'll do later because my chicken wasn't quite dry yet, but I went ahead and put some glue down and glued down the one end of the ribbon. And then I took a little patch of the other ribbon and put over top to give it a little more support. I glued them both down. And then when I flipped it back over, my chicken had slid down, so I waited on the other one. But here you'll be able to see how I did it. And this is how it turned out. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Our next project is going to be a mixed media piece. Those of you that have been here before know I like to do mixed media because you can use anything you have on hand. And I like to use a lot of scrapbooking papers in mine. I just like mixing all the colors and everything. So this one's going to be a chicken, a little trio of chickens. So I'm going to start with this piece of scrapbook paper that looks like wood doors. And I'm just going to take an 8x10 flat canvas and spread Mod Podge over it. And it's not going to be a very thick coat, just a nice even coat over the whole thing. And I'm just going to put the piece directly on. And you want to make sure the corners are down good. And I'm just going to use my roller. If you don't have a roller, just use your hands and gently spread, pressure evenly along the paper to get any air bubbles out. And once that's done, I'm going to start with the chick bodies. And I decided to use heart shapes. It just makes it a little easier. A lot of times I use torn paper, but this one I'm not going to. So it's a little different for me. And I'm going to use these heart shapes to kind of make it a little bit easier. I went around the edge with a pencil and just made like little hem marks just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. And I'm going to glue it on. And then I've got two smaller ones that are going to be the chicks. And they're going to go on either side. And I'm just going to put the heart shape upside down so it looks like they're sitting on like a nest. And I'm going to use different colored papers for the different body parts. Now this, I'm just taking some frayed burlap ink and I'm just going around the edges to kind of make it look a little distressed. And it also makes the shapes pop out a little bit. You can kind of see how you can see the outline better on the small chick once I did the ink around the edges. So now I get the second chick on. I'm just going to make sure these are down good and tight. I'm going to take a little more of that ink, just stress around the edges of where the mama chicken is in the center there. Make sure that she stands out a little bit. And then I took some red pattern paper and I made their little top notches. I can't remember what they're called, which is terrible because we have chickens. But I'm going to put that up, their crown, I guess. I'm going to put that up on top, and they're just little heart pieces too. And I'm going to glue those down. And you can use any kinds of papers, you can use any colors. It's just, that's the beauty of mixed media. It's just, you can use your imagination, and we could sit down with the same pieces and go our different ways, and they turn out so differently just by each person's interpretation of what they want to do. So just have fun with it. Now I'm just going to cut some little beaks. And I am going to take some more of that distressed ink and go around the beaks just so they're not so bright. And you're going to want to make sure all this is pressed down. And a lot of times I'll go over the whole piece with Mod Podge, but since I colored these eyes in with a black Sharpie, I didn't want it to bleed into the paper. So I'm going to spray it with some spray varnish instead. So that's up to you how you want to protect your piece. And then I decided that it needed some nesting down below, so I took some just Spanish moss and I'm just gluing it on with hot glue along the bottom. kind of finishes off the piece a little bit. And you want to be careful when you're gluing Spanish moss because it does come up and burn the fingers easily because you can't really see where it's going to go. Now I'm just giving it a little bit of a haircut. And this is how it turned out. I decided to put a few extras on here that I've done in the past of different farm animals. I hope you enjoy. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back next time. Bye for now.